goes on, everybody? Stuff, such, and whatnot. And don't forget the whatnot. We have some crazy news in New York City. It's always got to be New York, right? There's always some chaotic stuff going on in New York. There's always, whether it's about some kind of subway, whether it's about taxes, whether it's about, the crisis of money, right? Anything, right? It's always New York, but football has some more interesting news going on with New York. Guys, this is insane. I made a video, and I might not even upload it anymore because I'm going to upload this one, about Aaron Rodgers possibly moving to the New York Giants. And we were talking about how he was kind of, some people say begging, but he really wants to stay. I can see why. If you just moved there, if you're trying to establish yourself for the new team you're with, it can be a little frustrating if you can't make it work and they're getting rid of you 1 year after you just became a full-time starter for them. Granted, he had that injury that caused him to not be there for the whole year, for his first year, but either way, it would have been nice to see him at least have another year in New York. But there is a way for Aaron Rodgers to stay in New York, and that is the Giants. But we have some crazier news going on, folks. The Jets are possibly going to move on from Davante Adams. And with Davante Adams going to New York, or staying in New York after he just was traded to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, staying in the same stadium with Aaron Rodgers, just wearing different colors, I don't think anybody's ever seen that before. And that's history making, but that can also help out with morale, and that can also help out with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams really getting things figured out. The Giants, they have a solid defense. I know people want to trash their defense, but their line, the inside of the defense is solid. You have to give them that. Thibodeau's on there. You've got Dexter Lawrence. You've got a lot of guys on there. The linebacker positions are starting to develop, and you can't deny that. The problem with New York right now is they don't have a stable number one receiver. Hyatt's not doing it yet. So getting Davante Adams with Hyatt, that would be amazing. Davante Adams will be a great number one. He can really mentor the young guys that are being popped up as big time players. Then you have Aaron Rodgers in there who will really, if a receiver needs a wake up call, Aaron Rodgers is there. The Giants have a great situation here, especially with the Packers having a kind of like a small. I don't think it's small at all, but some people don't really acknowledge this rivalry. The Giants and the Packers have a rivalry. I'm just going to say that. I don't care if people are like, it's not a true rivalry. Look at the playoff wins and losses that they've all went through. Buddy, it's a rivalry. You can't deny it. That's like saying the Giants and Colts don't at least have something going on, or the Chiefs and the Colts at least don't have something going on. There's something going on there. I believe that. So, Davante Adams is going to help out the receiver room a lot. And I feel like it's going to be a better environment than the Raiders and the Jets gave, because there's not a lot of egos, and there's not a lot of people who are under and don't really care as much. When you see the Raiders, that's where you see the I don't really care that much, give me a paycheck. And then you see the defense of the Raiders. There's a lot of ego with the defense and the Raiders. The Jets is filled with ego. Aaron Rodgers has the biggest ego. We've already established that throughout the years, that Aaron Rodgers probably has the biggest ego in the entire NFL and the entire roster everywhere. So when you put an ego with an egotistical team, with Davante Adams, who also is trying to find a fresh start where he can help out a team and help out with everything he can, plus being with Aaron Rodgers, a guy he knows very well. Then you take him to the Giants that doesn't really have that much ego because they don't deserve it. And even if they did, slap up, we're winning, shut up. That's basically what it's going to be like. I think this is going to be a great situation for the Giants. And personally, If they do not get this deal done, this will be the worst decision they've ever made. And guess what? They've already made a bad decision by letting Saquon Barkley go. And guess what? That was recent. And the fact that Daniel Jones was a pick in the first round. That was actually probably their worst decision they've ever made. But recently, it's Saquon Barkley. Because they destroyed his confidence and destroyed so many years of his career. And then you have Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. You better pick them up. You pick them up, or your franchise is the biggest laughingstock anybody has ever seen. So, what I say to that is my overall thoughts. This can go big, or this can be the worst decision that any team's made, because we know they have... Excuse me, I'm making a video. Hey! Anyways. Shut up! Alright, we're going to try to ignore that. We're going to try to ignore that, because I have a neighbor who works on cars, so I apologize for that. Anyways, so Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, everybody needs each other. That's where I see where everything stands. You can't deny it. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers need this. They need to stay in New York. They need to stay together, and they need something where they're actually going to be a contender. I think the Bills doing what they're doing. I'm not worried about Miami, because Tyreek Hill's doing his everyday crap. That's why Kansas City got rid of him. You've got that, plus the fact that you have so Miami's not a problem. Plus you have Buffalo's Buffalo. And then you have New England trying to gather more, right? You're trying to gather more. Get out of New York and go to New York to be in a conference, in a division that isn't as stacked. You have maybe Washington. I know you have the Eagles, who just won the Super Bowl, all due respect. Screw you guys, though. It's all good. We got, 4 rings in our franchise? I'm cool with it. So, you have that. That is going to then open up a door for more competition. That's going to be more of a, okay, we're here, and you guys are going to give me the throne, or else. That mentality. That overall, the Giants need this, and if the Jets are going to do this, they have to figure something out, because at this point, the Giants need a quarterback. They don't have anything for quarterback. This can help them out, give them a year to figure out all their plans. The QB class is rocky anyways, so figure that out. The Jets can maybe do something in the draft, or if they have anybody in their back seat they want to get in the free agency, there you go. So I think this would be a great move for both teams. I just think that if the Jets are not careful, this would be a really bad scenario. So yeah, good job, Giants. If you guys make the deal, do it, because that will be the trade of the century. It really will be. So yeah, stuff such and whatnot. Don't forget the whatnot. This was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to get all my thoughts out. I think that this is going to be massive, so I wanted to kind of just give some air and just explain everything of all the psychologies of what's going on here. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video, though. I hope you guys were able to get some information and maybe some hopeful thinkings here. The draft, free agency, all that's coming up. So these are really big things going on that that it really needs to be talked about. So, stuff such and whatnot. Don't forget the whatnot. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Be safe. Go Chiefs.